Happy Yule. We're in the season anyway, not quite to the day yet, but to count down the days there, it's kind of fun to come up with different things to do along the way to help celebrate. Today, I want to show you how to do a craft that you can do with your kids or on your own, you know, kids at heart. And we're going to make a wishing candle. Perfect time of year to make a solstice wish, to work on manifesting that through the dark, cold winter, and then bring it out in the spring and make stuff happen, right? So this thing, you should be able to do this probably with things you have around your house, like toilet paper roll. If you have maybe some fiberfill, beads, decorative things you can add to it. You need some paper, little candle from the dollar store, glue gun, some white paint or any other color paint, and paper plate. Basically, that's it. Scissors, pens, little things like that. We'll get there. I'll show you as we go along, right? So we're going to start actually with the candle. The toilet paper roll is going to become the candle. And we need to get this to fit in here without it just falling all the way through. So we're going to build a little shelf for the inside. To do that, what you're going to do is take a pen, get a piece of maybe poster board, cardstock, something that's probably a little bit heavier than printer paper, but if all you have is like a printer paper, that will work. I've done it. So go ahead and put this down on your paper and then make a circle around it. I'm going to trace around it so you have an idea of how big that circle is. Then what you're going to do is from here make another circle roughly a ½ inch or so around that one, and you end up with like a double circle. You're going to cut along the outside circle. This doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see it. It's going to be tucked inside there. You just want to make like a little shelf. So once you have this cut out, what you're going to do is make little cuts all around this outside edge, but stop when you at this line right here in the center. You don't want to cut past that center circle. So you're going to make little snips all the way around. Let's do that real quick. What you are doing, you're creating small tabs so that you can fold them down and it will retain that circle shape. So fold them down along that line, and then you're going to pop it into the toilet paper roll. It's kind of a tight fit. It's a little bit awkward, so here's a tip. Get all your tabs folded down and place that inside. Try to go as flat and straight as you can initially. So when you push on this, you don't want to push it all the way down through. You know, you just want to push it partially. To stop it from going all the way through, I grab my favorite Sharpies here and just hold that underneath to keep it from going all the way down and kind of guide it and gently press it around so you have, you're kind of aiming for the width of, or the, is that the width, the depth, the height? The height of your candle, so that when you pop it in there, it pretty much is flat across the top. It's not sticking up and it didn't like sink all the way down. So it's just pretty much flat on there. Once you have that in about where you want it, where you think it's good, take a little bead of, I'll drop my glue. Take a little bead of glue and put some on the edges just to kind of hold it in place. All right, let's try this again. We need some more glue in there. Hopefully I won't throw that one to the ground too. All right, so we have this. The next thing you're gonna do is make a little door. So you're gonna make a door at the base here. And to do that, just draw sort of an upside down L. Ooh, my Sharpie's running out of ink. May need to grab another one. See if you can see this. just to give you a guide to cut on. If you want to eyeball it, just eyeball it. Don't even draw a door. But see how it's just, you're only going to cut up and over, just up and over so that you can open the flap of the door here. Put that. Okay. Once you have that cut, you can sort of make a bend. So you have a little opening for your door, and this will be closed when you paint, because now we're going to paint. I'm going to do mine white. Really choose any color you would like because it's your candle, right? So we're going to get out my white paint here. I'm just using this like little piece of scrap paper to be able to squirt some paint out on. That just keeps it easy for cleanup. In fact, speaking of cleanup, you can see I have my lovely messy paper down on my desk, because otherwise my desk would be looking like this. It would be kind of nasty at this point in time. So it's good to cover your work surface with something, you know, that you don't mind getting paint on. And if you are someone who hates to get paint on your fingers, another really good tip for you would be to get a wooden clothespin, and you can use your clothespin and pinch on there and then just hold the pin instead of putting your fingers right in here. Me, on the other hand, I just go for it for the most part. So go ahead and paint this out whatever color you'd like. You know, some really fun Yule colors would be red or green. And, you know, if you like hot pink, then I say you go for it, because it's your candle and your wish. So maybe you want to think about a color that corresponds magically to whatever you're wishing for. You might want to choose that color then too. All right, so we're going to get that whole thing covered. Hopefully you have a paint that will cover it in one shot. You might need to do 2 coats, depends on your paint. I'm using acrylic. Tempera is really good and washable. Acrylic is, you know, wash off of your skin, but if you get it on your clothes, it might be a little more difficult to wash off. And you know, I also think if you've got markers and you want to color it all with markers, do that. That would be fun too. All right, so I've got it all painted out, and I've got myself all painted up. This next part, you probably want to wait until it dries before you do it. Who's got time for that, right? So grab a glue gun. You're gonna make some wax. You want it to look like there's wax dripping all down the side, all around your candle. To do that, you just drip your glue. You're gonna kind of bring it on the edge and let it fall. Make kind of some loops with it. You can do that, like as much of this or as little of this as you want, whatever you're feeling. It could be a really messy candle, or you could be really neat. You can bet my candle's messy. And if you're worried about hot glue, if you're someone who's kind of makes you nervous, you don't want to get burned, there are some really fabulous glue guns out there right now that are not even they're less than, more than low temp. They're really like cool to the touch. I don't know, you call them safety glue guns or something, but they actually work. The glue melts at such a low temperature that you can literally touch the tip of the glue gun and it doesn't burn you. I mean, it's hot, but it is not burning hot type of thing. It's really, really helpful if you've got, especially for really young kids or kids who tend to be uncoordinated or messy like me. Mine is sort of a low temp. It doesn't burn me if I touch it, but it is too hot to touch like the tip. These other kind of, they're great. It's worth checking into. All right, so I've got my candle wax all around. Can you see a little bit. See how it gets kind of dripped all the way down around there. Make some candle wax. And then what you can do is, if you have a marker or some other colored paint, you want to paint around the door to make it stand out a little bit more, to give it some texture. Maybe you want to make a wood door or something like that. My, as I just found out, my Sharpie is kind of running out on me. So I'm going to switch to this black Sharpie, and I'm going to put a bit of an outline on this door, maybe, because my paint's kind of wet. But I will give you an idea so that it kind of stands out more, so you can see it a little bit. Again, do this with paint or whatever kind of marker you might have. All right, I don't know if you can see that, but I just sort of marked in a little bit where the door is, just to give your eyes something to follow, so that if you want to decorate it more, maybe you make it look like a magical portal or a fairy door or something like that. All right, so this is basically your candle. It's got to get a whole lot more fancy yet. Oh, don't forget the doorknob. I think that a bead would work great if you had like a little bead or a little jewel to put on there. I don't. So I'm going to put a little blob of glue. And once that dries, it'll be like my little doorknob. So got that. And you need this. Notice how I said that, like glitter glue. I decided, I was having a really hard time with this. I was thinking, should I go silver because it's snowy and sparkly like diamonds? Or should I do gold because I was thinking about the sun and the return of the sun? I ended up using both. Why not? So you can add some glue, the glitter glue around the drips of the candle. You know what I ended up doing is I just squirted some on there and smeared it around with my finger so the whole candle was a little bit sparkly. But once you have your candle how you like it, you're gonna grab your paper plate and glue this down to your paper plate. So put your glue on this bottom edge, but don't glue your door because you want to open your door. So don't put any glue on your door. Just put glue all around the outside edge here. And just stick it on your paper plate, wherever you want. I'm popping mine in the middle-ish here. And that'll be a base for your candle to stand on. The base is important, not only because it holds the candle up, but then you have a place where you can create some atmosphere. You can put in some cotton balls, or this is poly fiber fill, you know, like from a pillow. You can put that around to make some fluffy snow. You could do some greenery. You could think about maybe adding some holly for the season and make it protective. Holly's like a really protective kind of good luck plant to have. You could add some other things that you think would work to make it perfect for whatever your wish is. And then you got to put in the wish. So find yourself a little piece of paper and think of a really good wish. Write it down. You can't see it. All right, roll it up. And I grabbed some of this red gift wrap ribbon to tie on there. I like red because I chose red because I want some extra oomph to this wish. I want some extra power to it. And to me, red is sort of a power color. But just like your candle, if you want to do a special ribbon with a certain color, you can change that up however you want, whatever works for you. Let's see if I can be coordinated enough to tie a bow on here. If not, it's going to be a knot and it's going to be beautiful. All right. Ooh, I did it. I did a bow. So you have this itty bitty wish that when you're done, you're going to pop it right in your door. Close up your door. Keep it safe for the winter. until it comes to fruition. And you can light your candle and pop that on top. So let me show you what I did with mine. This is the one I did a little earlier. You see it has the candle wax dripping down. I did some snow and a little pathway. Pathway's harder to see, but I did like a little stone painted on stone pathway up to the door, and some holly and some greenery. And I found these little charms. They were perfect. I got the sun on there for the return of the sun and to honor the night with the moon and the stars. And my little wish inside the door. I made my door fancy and put some gold paint and gold glitter on it and all. So this, you can even have like a little altar for you for your wish to help you manifest it. You can add things to it and put things in your plate that maybe you think of that might add to the power of your wish, so that in the spring it will come true. I gotta light mine here too. Maybe shorten this one. Oh, dollar stores. I love them. There we go. Oh, it works. All right. So that's your Yule wish candle. It's a ton of fun. Hopefully you have like everything just on hand. Be creative. You know, don't limit yourself to what I did. Think about different things that you can do to make your wish hopefully come true. So have fun with this one.